Friends, this is Manohar Joshi, Associate Professor, Department of English, Walchand College of Arts and Science, Solapur. I am doing a presentation on linguistics and overview. First of all, we will see the learning outcomes. The first outcome is that this presentation will help acquire the primary knowledge of linguistics. Number two, this will enable insights into the branches of linguistics. Number three, it will enable an understanding of phonetics. And the last outcome is it will help understand the basics of semantics. Now we will see the definitions of linguistics. First definition of linguistics is a general definition. Linguistics is a branch of knowledge that deals with a scientific study of language. So what is expected to be done under this particular branch is a scientific study of language. The second definition that we are using here is forwarded by Edward Sapir, a famous linguist. According to Sapir, language is a purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by means of voluntarily produced symbols. It means language is a human phenomenon. The second important feature that Sapir has included in this definition is the non-instinctiveness of language. It means that a language has to be acquired systematically. The third definition that we are using here in this presentation is forwarded by Noam Chomsky, another famous linguist. And Chomsky says that language is a rule-based system of science. According to Chomsky, language is essentially a system of signs or symbols, and this system is governed by a set of rules. Now we will see the etymology of language. By etymology we mean the origin of a particular given word or concept. The English word language has been derived from the French word langage, which is said to have been derived from the Latin word lingua, meaning tongue. Now we will see the network of language. We know that language is not a simple entity. It is actually a network of different patterns, and these patterns can be enlisted as follows. First, patterns of substance. Second, patterns of form. And third, patterns of context. Now the following slides will have an elaboration of all these three patterns. First of all, we will see patterns of substance. The patterns of substance give rise to phonic substance and graphic substance. It means that a language has substance, and the substance of the language can be divided into phonic substance and graphic substance. The phonic substance of a language is made up of sounds or speech sounds. A systematic study of the speech sounds of a language is termed phonology. According to English phonology, there are 44 speech sounds in this language. Out of these 44 speech sounds, 24 are consonant sounds and 20 vowel sounds. Now we can see the second half of the patterns of substance, which is graphic substance. The graphic substance of a language is made up of signs. A study of the signs accepted by a language for making it concrete is supposed to be graphology. If you look at English language, we see that English has 26 letters of alphabet. Out of these 26 letters, 21 are consonant letters and 5 vowel letters. Now we can see the second patterns, that is patterns of form. The patterns of form give rise to a system under the control of which a language operates. This system consists in two different branches. The first is called lexis and the second is called grammar. Now lexis is nothing but all the words accepted by a language for its formation. These words are arranged in an alphabetical order into a dictionary. A study of all these words in an alphabetical manner is supposed to be a separate branch of linguistics called lexicography. We know that the words in English language are derived from different European and Asian languages. The original English words in this language are only a small section, and if you look at the other words, a majority of the words have been derived from a number of European languages and Asian languages. A study of all the words in a particular language is supposed to be lexicography. The second branch that comes under patterns of form is called grammar, and we know that grammar is a finite set of rules and regulations accepted by a language. Dear friends, do you have any idea about the branches of grammar? Okay, we will have a look at what grammar is all about along with the two branches of grammar. Grammar is best studied by dividing it into morphology and syntax. Morphology is the first branch of grammar, which is also called grammar below words. Under morphology, we study words and the smaller divisions of words called morphemes. Apart from this, morphology also undertakes a systematic study of different word formation processes. The second branch of grammar is called syntax. It is also called grammar above words. In other words, under syntax, we study larger grammatical units like phrases, clauses, and sentences. We come to the last pattern, that is patterns of context. Patterns of context give rise to the meaning in language. We know that there cannot be text, either spoken or written, without a context. It means every text has a context. Now this gives rise to a branch of linguistics called semantics. Under semantics, we see different varieties of language. The semantics consists in the study of meaning or meanings. There are three possibilities here. The first is called the literal meaning, second is called connotative meaning, third is called denotative meaning. Literal meaning is objective or factual meaning. Connotative meaning is the secondary meaning, and denotative meaning is implied or symbolic meaning. Let's take an example from William Wordsworth's poem titled Rainbow. We know that William Wordsworth was a romantic poet, and William Wordsworth is known all over the world for his romantic writings, especially the definition of poetry that William Wordsworth has forwarded. In one of his reputed poems called Rainbow, there is a line, "Child is the father of man." Now the line, "Child is the father of man," has a very important image, and the image is that of child. The word child has three meanings. First is the literal meaning, second is the connotative meaning, and third is the denotative meaning. Now, as far as the literal meaning of the word child is concerned, it means a young of human being. It is a factual meaning. The secondary meaning is connotative meaning, and it is nothing but a generation of humans. Child in this particular line stands for a generation of human beings. If you go beyond these two meanings, you come to the symbolic meaning or implied meaning, which is supposed to be the denotative meaning. And child in this particular line means that William Wordsworth is talking about the innocence that children have. According to William Wordsworth, a child is superior to man because he is or she is more innocent than a mature human being is. In that sense, William Wordsworth comes out with his very famous declaration that child is the father of man. So these are the varieties of meanings that are covered under the last branch of linguistics called semantics. These are the references that I have used for this presentation. The first book is Contemporary English Grammar, Structures and Composition, published by Macmillan, written by David Green. The second book is English Grammar for Today, written by Geoffrey Leach, Margaret Dosher, and Robert Rubenard. This book has been published by Macmillan. The third book is A Communicative Grammar of English, written by Geoffrey Leach and Jan Swartwick, published by Longman. And the fourth book that I have used for this presentation is A Dictionary of Linguistics and Phonetics, compiled by David Crystal and published by Blackwell Publishing. Thank you, friends.